Good morning, it's Katie. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, nice and bright and early on a bank holiday Sunday. Busy today, so I've just come down to do a quick couple of hours digging. It's a gorgeous day. I don't know if you can hear the bird song in the background, but it's really gorgeous here. I've seen the fox today. He stared at me as if to say, "What are you doing here so early?" And then he ran away. He's a bit of a manky thing, to be honest. I think he needs a bit of TLC, but as long as he stays away from my patch, I'll be happy. Right, a quick tour. This bit here that's currently covered is actually what I've dug out ready for a shed to go in. I was planning on a shed, but I'm thinking of changing my mind and having a greenhouse instead. Love to know your feedback as to which you value more on your allotment. Let's have a look and see what we're growing. Down here, this is my little girl's corner. So she's actually found some little strawberry plants when we were tidying up. So she's planted those up and they're coming up okay. She's got her little pink bird next to the chives. So she thinks that's going to scare away anything that might eat her strawberries. And then we've got mint. We've actually sunk this in a bucket so that the roots don't spread. I believe it's the devil if it gets everywhere. And then in this little pot here, we actually have two little beans that she found on the floor that she planted, and they're growing. Look at those slugs have had a bit of a go at them, but we're going to put them in a nice home for her so she can enjoy her own home planted beans. And coming around this side, we've actually got a gooseberry bush that we inherited. It's doing really well actually. It's got some brilliant gooseberries. I don't know if you can see them coming already. So it's looking really healthy. We just gave it a bit of a tidy up when we came. So I'll have to get looking on the internet for some nice gooseberry recipes. I think gooseberry crumble might get a bit boring after a while, so we'll have to think of something else to do with it. Another fruit bush here. I'm not too sure if this is black currants or white currants or red currants. I think that's part of the fun of getting a new allotment, isn't it? That you just inherit things and you're not too sure what they are till they actually come up. Okay, taking you up past the bush. Down here, being in Timperley, every single plot on here has got rhubarb. Because this used to be a rhubarb field, apparently. I know my dad was saying he used to play in here when he was younger. So we're really lucky that we've got quite fertile soil. Great for growing things, but unfortunately it's a bit of a nightmare for weeds as well. I was the only patch that hasn't got any rhubarb on it. Luckily, one of my neighbours has given me some crowns. I have planted them. I don't think you can see them very well here. There's one there and one that's going to be over there. Whether or not they'll do anything or not, I don't know, but I have got another allotment here who's said that they will give me a crown at the end of the season. And let's have a look what we planted here. Here we planted some parsnips. We've got parsnips picador. They're only planted probably about 2 weeks ago, so you won't be able to see anything really at the moment apart from a mound of soil. A raised bed that we've made. We're hoping to get some wooden raised beds in next year, but we only got the plot on the 1st of April. So it's a case of get everything dug in what we can now, and then we'll see how it goes next year. This raised bed here has got carrots and beetroots as well. So we'll see how those come up. In fact, no, this one's just got beetroots, carrots on the other side. And then moving along here, everything netted. We put them in, and then the next day we came back and they'd been attacked a bit. So in here we've got borlotti beans, which should be quite nice. So they're all netted up. They're doing okay. There's a little one here that seems to have suffered more than some of the others. Again, it's the normal problem of weeding as well. Never-ending task of somebody who'd forgotten allotment. And then down here onto our beans. These ones are what are these ones? Let's have a look and see what they are. Broad beans, yeah, broad beans. So these are all netted up. I found these clips in B&M. They're absolutely fantastic. They're 8 to 9p for a packet of 10. But they're just like little pincer clips, and they're great for holding netting together. As you can see all along, my dad made this structure for me. Dads are brill, aren't they? And then here we have the structure in place for our runner beans. They've been planted probably about a week or so ago, so they're not come up yet. got some netting ready to put up for these as well. And then down here we have our fruit bed. So we've got a big row of raspberries along here and another one here. We've got the structure in place ready for the netting to go over so that the birds don't eat all of my lovely fruit. We've put some black weed suppressant down just to try and keep down the weeds because, as I said, well, you all know they run rampant, don't they? And then onto our strawberry patch. Lots of lovely strawberries amongst the weeds. We've had quite a few flowers already, which is encouraging because hopefully it means that we'll get lots of nice fruits. Make some jam or something with it. There we go. Lovely strawberry flowers. And then further on down here, this is where the plot gets a bit messy, unfortunately. We're only taming it bit by bit. In here, in tubs, I've planted some blueberries. So these have been planted in tubs because they prefer arenaceous compost, I believe. So they've been planted up with those. And then at the end, oh nice, got some flowers coming there, which is really good and unexpected. And then in this one is a new one that came out, pink berry pink lemonade. So it's actually going to have pink berries on it, hopefully. It seems to have survived me transplanting it okay. So we'll see how that goes. I've put them in tubs as well so that I can put them under the netting with the strawberries and raspberries to keep them safe. This is the second part of the allotment, which is a bit of a mess, unfortunately. As I'm doing a bit of digging, I'm also doing a bit of tidying here, cutting everything back. It was full up to waist-height brambles, so we've managed to sort of chop them down to floor height. The branches that are here, unfortunately, was an apple tree, but it hasn't produced any buds or anything. It was dead, unfortunately. I think it was planted too close to the other one. So here's the poor little old stump. But here, thankfully, is our surviving apple tree. As you can see, it's got lots of beautiful buds on it. I believe from speaking to my neighbours that have been here for 40 years that it's eating apples, so I look forward to eating those. Really on the floor here, all we seem to have is lots of brambles growing up. So I'm not too sure what the best way of tackling those is, whether or not just to dig it over and try and get them all out. Again, any advice would be welcome. Down here between we have some carpets. I think the previous tenant was really keen on carpets, putting them down to suppress the weeds. So they're pretty much everywhere. I don't know if you can see underneath here. I don't really like carpets on allotments because I'm worried about the chemicals. I believe they can leach out into the soil, and I want to try and be as organic as possible, really. That's the benefit of having your allotment, is that you can grow what you want, how you want to. And then here we have some fruit bushes, again, that we inherited, all looking really nice and healthy. I'm not too sure what this one is, but again, we'll soon find out. There's no flowers on it or anything yet. And then we've got two leftover bins, which all I've been using those for at the moment is cutting back all these brambles. Not brambles, I think they're gooseberry bushes. But as you can see, it's more like a gooseberry tree. And this is half the size that it was 2 weeks ago. I've really cut it back a lot. And then onto some more bushes, another currant of some variety. Again, lots and lots of flowers on, so hopefully we should get lots of fruit. And then there's some more. Oh, yeah, there you go. So exciting coming down in the morning and seeing all the changes that have happened. Hopefully they're black currants. Or red currants. I'm not bothered actually, I like both. There we go, and some more, so it's quite good. This one here is actually in the pathway between our plot and next door's plot, so I'm going to see how it goes this year, and I might have to dig it up. And then we come to the back, which again is a mound of carpets and weeds, and it's looking a hell of a lot better than it did when we took it over. At least you can walk around it now without being waist high in nettles and brambles. And then to the back is just our dumping ground. I think everyone has one. This is all the stuff that we took up from the allotment. There's lots of stuff here that I need to get rid of. I think I'm not going to compost any of this. because I'm not too sure what's in there. We suffer quite badly from mare's tail, so I'm not too sure what's in there. So I think I'll get rid of this at the tip and then start. The idea is to have some compost bins along here, and try and put something up to suppress the growth of any weeds and stuff through the railings. And that's why I'm called the pink wheelbarrow. There's my pink wheelbarrow, upside down at the moment, but that will be used later on. So yeah, bits of wood and metal and stuff that people say, oh, don't throw it away, you might need it. So I might have a sort through that. Once everything else is tamed, I might have a sort through. It's a real shame actually to have to get rid of this gooseberry bush, or at least take it down, because there is actually growing gooseberries on it, but it's just completely unmanageable and there is a lot of dead wood in there. If anyone's got any feedback about what they think is the best thing, whether or not it's best just to cut it back and leave it, or whether or not it's best to leave cutting it back now, let it fruit and then see how it goes for next year, I don't know. And then coming back down, we've got a rusty old bin that I think is used for burning things in the winter. It's got no base on it though, but I guess it's going to be quite good for burning rubbish in the winter. We're not allowed to have fires on site between March and September because we've got some houses just over the way that they get smoky washing. 2 compost bins, one was on the site and one was given to us very kindly by somebody whose neighbour was throwing one out. So at the moment they're just used for storing plant pots and stuff in, but eventually they will be used for composting. And then coming back down the second side of the allotment, this is the bit that I've just been digging a while ago. We've still got quite a lot of stuff to come back in, so we're going to dig up to here, dig it all over and plant something here. Probably the brassicas will go in here. And then here are our potatoes. We've got King Edwards and Maris Pipers, all being mounded up and freshly weeded by my dad yesterday. Fathers are great. And then down this side, this is today's job, to dig all these weeds out and turn it all over, again ready for more planting. This section here is all, oh there you go, that's my digging. Our little pretend pathway at the moment is just sort of a makeshift trampled down soil. As I said, we don't want to put any formal structures in really this year. I want to see how it goes first of all. So some more soil for planting. And then here, this is where the carrots are. So which sort are we trying to grow? Let's have a look. Oh, not too sure which carrots they are, to be honest. Nothing much coming through. Cyst, ST, I don't know what that is. One tip that I've learned, oh, I've also got carrot maestro as well. So that come up. One tip that I'm going to do next year is I'm going to write my labels in permanent marker, because the pencil seems to wash off and I don't know what I've got. And then down to the first thing that was planted here once the soil has been turned over, and that's our onions. We put some cover over them when we first planted them until they started shooting to stop the birds pulling them up. And then once they've come up, we've taken the covers off and you can see they're doing quite well. So for somebody who hasn't really grown anything before in her life, apart from weeds, and they grow on their own, it's not too bad. And then here we just have a little cold frame which I built myself from a pack. It wasn't all from bits of wood, it was from a pack, but this is my substitute greenhouse. So in here we've got the cabbages that are ready to go out, and then we've also got some lettuces growing in here. Along here under the polytunnel we've got more lettuces. Lots of salad in the summer, I think. And then we've got some space down here in front of the gooseberry bushes, so I think I'm going to put some planters down here with just some cut and come back leaves for salad. I've got to put some radishes in as well because I believe they're really easy to grow. And that's it. So that's the first tour of our allotment. Any comments, any advice, please give it. Otherwise I will get on with the digging. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you.